Hello, AfterBuzzers. You are watching the Jane the Virgin After Show on AfterBuzz TV. Tonight we are discussing Chapter 61. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey. Oh, yes! Look at this music. Listening to a little bit of Maluma, my fellow Colombiano, Felices los Cuatro. What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Jane the Virgin After Show on AfterBuzz TV. I am your host, Stephanie Giorgi. You can follow me on Twitter at Stephanie Giorgi. But before you do that, subscribe to our page below. Find us on iTunes, SoundCloud. Leave us comments. Do your thing, you know. Tonight, I am hosting with the lovely Francesca and Nataly. Ladies, where can they find you on social media?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at XOXOCESCA. And
All right. And we have a little...
we have a special furry guest.
You could follow her at Lulu's
Lulu on the gram.
Lulu on the gram, around like Lulu's party.
And you can find me everywhere at Nataly Tavidian.
Nataly Tavidian.
Nataly Tavidian. Natalie with a Y.
Yeah. Hey.
This makes me want to get up and dance right
Because
now.
it's so good. Okay. So chapter 61 for me was an episode of dynamics. We got to see everyone's relationships kind of grow, if you will. It was quite nice. And I'm going to start with La Señora Alba, como siempre. I love her so much. In addition to seeing, well, not really her relationship grow, but seeing her grow, and it was really nice to see her speak English. And one of the parts that I want to talk about is when that woman said, we're in America, speak English.
Oh, hell no.
Lady, I'm going to speak whatever language I want to speak, okay? Because
Exactly.
I speak them both fluently. Anyways. No, so she starts quoting some of our Declaration of Independence, and it was just funny because she says, let's see
see if she knows this.
She probably doesn't, and that's the thing. People don't
Yeah.
realize.
I don't.
I know. But that's what people don't realize is that for those who are really trying to get their citizenship and like that it's of importance and who weren't privileged, they do go through all of that, and they know more than what you think. Just you're not going around talking about, well, what's your Fifth Amendment? You know, that's just not how it is.
It's tough because I feel like, while I don't agree at all with what that woman did, I do feel like you should definitely learn the language. But like, if I were to move to Mexico, I better learn Spanish fast, right? But that's not to say what she did was so rude. And like, that lady could see that they spoke Spanish, so of course she's gonna come feeling comfortable speaking to someone who she knows speaks it. And that's the really frustrating part, because it's like, we're in America, but she's not talking to you.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
She's not the one. She's not like at the, she's not at, like, I don't know. She's not at a university trying to teach English.
Well, that's what
you
I
know
was
what
going
I
to
mean?
say.
Like,
what bothered me was that, I'm sorry, ma'am, but please do not be oblivious to your surroundings, considering that you are in Miami, Florida, where the majority of those residents are Latinos, Cubanos, Puerto Ricanos, Dominicanos, from all over the Caribbean. And it's just so funny the way that she, like, but you could tell it just bothered her for some reason.
and how do you know she's not learning English right now,
Exactly.
too?
Well, exactly. And that
What
woman could've
Alba
spoken
learned in that
perfectly.
moment is strength, and that's what she was trying to teach Mateo at the end.
So
is
pretty.
that sometimes you don't have that strength to speak up, or she was just so bothered that she wasn't thinking about the politics, or she wasn't thinking about speaking up, but it ate at her because she was just like so angry and she wished she could say something. And I think a lot of people have those moments where you're like, what the heck? I wish I spoke up. I wish I said something.
But like Alba said, she was left in shock. And, you know, to be quite honest, I'm someone that sits here in front of both of you, in front of the cameras, and will say, yeah, right, if that lady said some ish to me, I would have been all up in that. But, you know, I've had similar situations where when someone... You know, like, and coming from someone who I have a Latino background, right? I'm the first in my family to be born in the United States. I know that sometimes if I'm not thinking about it, or depending on who I'm around, I may speak a little bit differently. I may use a little bit more ebonics. I may be a little more lazy with my speech. However, I remember being in a situation where someone was just so, she was like, oh, you shut up, you little chirpy sand. I was on the East Coast in the South, and this woman said like the most racist thing to me, and I didn't
You didn't speak up.
I did for like a second, but there was so much more I could have said.
Yeah.
And all I said was like, ma'am, that was unbelievably unprofessional. That's all I said. But I didn't know what to do because I was like, oh man. But I also fell into like, well, what's the next thing that I could say that's not going to make her continue to think of what she just said? Because there was almost some truth in it. But at the same time, it was, it's weird, you know, when someone can actually put you in that position.
Yeah. It's difficult because even if you, well, like speaking up is great for you, but like, even if you said something that person might not have cared, do you know what I mean? So sometimes for me, it's like unless someone's physically harming or really hurting someone, it's like
you can't change an entire...
I can't change anything. Not like I said. This actually reminds me of that hidden camera show. What would you do?
What would you do? I was just thinking.
Yeah, there was an episode that I saw where they had a Spanish-speaking mom and daughter in like a Tex-Mex. Or Texas. I don't know. I think it was in the South. So this guy that was actor was hearing the mom and the daughter speaking Spanish, and he's acting, of course, and he's like, y'all go back to Mexico or wherever you're from, like just saying outlandish stuff. And it was actually surprising because pretty much everyone got up and said something to him and was like, "Sir, you need to leave her alone," especially because it was a mother. It was a mother and a daughter.
Okay, this is Fabian's sister, everybody. It was a mother and a father.
Fabian.
Even Lulu was like, "What?"
Lulu was like, "What?"
Ma. So it reminded me of that because a lot of times, there's like I said, like. If that person was harassing them, it was actors, right? But it was harassing them. I think I might have spoken up in that situation as well. Mm-hmm. Something like that, I could have been like, ma'am, that's being rude or something. Or just like, okay, BZ, walk the fuck out, okay?
Right.
I love how that show pushes the social experiment, like, to the limits.
Mm-hmm. And the writers did a really, forgive me.
No, let's go.
I was just going to say that the writers did a really good job at keeping it like close to date to what's happening. Mind you, they couldn't predict like too much in the future, but I think I love it. All of these
they touched on the importance of the speaking up and the
and it's perfect because today's International Workers' Day, May 1st, and so that's Alba's like, I'm gonna march, and that's what today tons of people, thousands of people were marching for, not only immigrants but working class people and making sure. So it was great timing.
It was great timing.
I feel like it was planned.
Yeah, it probably was. Well,
it had to have been planned.
And
the writers of the show are just incredible.
They really are, and people seem to forget that not everyone are like. There's just this mentality of people like rushing into the United States, and as much as it's true, there are still people like Jorge, her amante, if you will, Alba's love interest. And to best describe it for me is, pero qué hombre tan elegante. Like, he's such an elegant man who his vocabulary, the way that he speaks is so beautiful. The way he presents himself is lovely.
The way he's courting Alba.
He's courting her. He's chivalrous. He's respectful. So he, in my eyes, absolutely deserves to have a green card citizenship here, but that's just not always how it works. Anyways, really love when Jane pushes these issues.
Yeah. Even Mateo was on these issues.
Right.
What did he say? He said,
why don't they want
why do some people don't want peace?
Oh, that's what I thought I heard too, but then the subtitle said, why do some people don't want Biza in this country? Like grandma in this country.
I think that was later, because he did say like something like, "Oh, so Biza's not going anywhere."
I heard peace too, but the subtitles read differently.
I don't know. Cool. Same thing though.
Right.
Peace comes hand in hand.
It does, absolutely.
And it's true. Some little kids, or that's why they have those shows like Kids Say the Darndest Things. It's like, because kids are so smart and they pick up on everything.
Yeah. What's actually in front of us.
Yeah. And they have no filter, so they're gonna ask questions.
Especially Mateo.
But you see, but Mateo was so sweet because maybe he did say it was Biza.
Maybe it was.
Did you
he
just
couldn't
remember?
say it to her face.
He didn't want to say it to grandma.
He didn't want to say it to her, and she said, "Well, if you can't talk to me, talk to your mom and dad."
Because there's just still something about your abuela, your grandmother, that like is so maternal. You're like, I want to protect you. But Mr. Sweetface, you really are such a sweet face.
Mateo's the cutest.
Mateo's super cute.
Someone come wipe
me. I know. That was really sweet.
So cute.
And tonight we see Raph with pining.
Piney Raph.
Raph.
What is going on there?
When I hear Piney Raph, I think of a raft, like floating, made out of pine.
You're so funny.
No? okay. I wasn't trying to be funny. I was literally just
I don't know what to say, guys. I'm gonna keep
with
going
his beard
now.
and his like linen pants.
I could see that now. Actually, I instantly thought of Wilson and Castaway. No, so we see Raph. Raph is still this cool Zen guy, and he's just in a place where when you've been by yourself for a little bit, I think more than what you think kind of starts to become of interest. You know, especially those who are comfortable with you. And I feel like sometimes people almost get tired. Like, you don't want to do all this work of getting to know somebody and going through the little things. But he's definitely seen Petra in a different light now and is longing for her, expresses this to Jane. And Jane is a little hurt. What
you think she was hurt?
Yeah, yes. Talk. Look, because Francesca was hurt too.
I mean, it's tough because they are like best friends. So you know, he's gonna sit there and hear about her going through her dating stuff and vice versa. And you know, even the narrator is like a little bit of shock, a little bit of jealous, a little bit of both. A little bit of both. And I think that's really what it was. And then she thought, you know, like exactly like how she said, don't tell Petra. She can't really say that bothers her because she's trying to move on.
Right.
You know, with Fabian or whoever in her life. Just in life. And so, you know, like you said, you get comfortable. You don't want to keep repeating. And not to say, like Raph said, you know, maybe we went through this crazy journey so we can be back together again. While that might be true, like, you want to make sure you know for sure. Right. And that's exactly what...
You don't toy with someone's emotions.
Yeah, you don't do it. And so I think Jane was deeply hurt. Or not deeply hurt, but very sad and kind of like... Oh, because like...
I don't know, though, you know? Because she saw them kiss a couple episodes ago, and
she was grossed out. Wasn't she?
Just like,
when
she was in
the closet, when she opened the closet and she was naked,
hiding and like, yeah.
That's right.
She just didn't want to see it, but I think it's just it's one of those things where Raph could be with anybody else and it's okay because it has no association with her feelings at the time. Meaning, they both had each other, and then Petra essentially fucked it up for them when she inseminated herself.
Yeah, with the turkey.
I also think that it's because that is the ideal dream, to be with your baby daddy. So for Jane, I'm sure she's thinking, so Petra and I were both in the same situation, but it's almost not fair that if Petra were to end up with him.
Right, yeah.
It's easier that neither of them ended up with him.
It would be easier.
It is easier because then there's like a balance. I'm sure it would be just as difficult for her to find herself having feelings for Raph again because she still wouldn't want to hurt Petra. She doesn't know to see her in that light. The only thing that scares me now, talking about Petra, is her and Chuck. This episode I was saying I love Chuck, but now we don't know if this mofo is the one who
we said at the beginning,
Scott.
We're like,
is there something with suspect, but
Chuck or not? And then they played.
He's
you guys,
hot to
the writers have played him.
Right?
Right. Keep him on the show as long as you can.
Perfect.
But you know, the writers did a good job of kind of like keeping him a low profile, so you're not constantly thinking of him. Because for quite a few episodes, I'm like, Chuck is just Chuck, and I'm like, I knew it. You know,
he's just some hot businessman, cowboy person.
Gator jerky.
He is so beautiful, though. He's so manly. That's what it is. He's just such a man's man. And I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens. It just sucks, though, because I really like Petra with him. Because now Raph doesn't even seem compatible for Petra anymore to me.
Yeah.
Raph is actually now super compatible for Jane. They're just not going to see it yet.
Well, yeah, because Petra's like... Not to say one's better than the other than Jane, but Petra's like very intense, and she's like...
Is she a fancy little...
She's...
Yeah, and it's like puts high maintenance.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Raph's too
there's
chill
a good balance
for that.
there. Raph is too chill for that now, and he's gone away from it. As much as you might understand that with Petra, I would hope that there is... I don't want to say like a sibling love there, but a family love where they just know how each other are. With Raph.
Yeah, wait, what's
Petra with Raph,
love?
forgive me. The way that their love is, meaning... Now that Raph isn't like that, he still understands her. But because Raph is more zen now, he doesn't want to be this person where Petra doesn't either. But she's gonna always do what she has to do. So that's gonna be in her. That's also part of Chuck. So I'm just really hoping that Chuck isn't this awful guy, because this is good for Petra.
They're making it look like he might be.
Yeah, we'll see. I just think that it's gonna wrap back around, because what I've always thought was what he said. What if that's what this whole journey was about? I've always thought from the beginning, this whole journey is about how he's going to end up back with Jane.
Yeah, for sure. Duh.
It's gonna be like a whole big How I Met Your Mother thing, right?
I never finished watching it, so okay.
I was like, but I know that it's like season 1 to 15.
Don't say.
I will not tell
it.
you what happened.
I know she's dead or something, but someone's dead. The mom.
Right, but anyways, we're not talking
This
about.
is not who
You're
you
never
think
gonna see it,
Yes,
Francesca.
I am eventually.
You're not.
Jeez.
I did ruin it. Just so you know.
No, I
She
think
has
I
no
knew
idea
that
what you're
someone
talking
was
about.
dead. Anyways, Jane the Virgin.
Jane the Virgin.
Jane the long lost friend.
Jane the long lost friend. Okay, so moving on. So
Jane the
Raph
horn dog.
also will be a very good friend from now on. But yes, let's talk about Jane and her female dynamics.
What's on her mind?
Well, first,
Sex,
because we were still talking about
sexy nachos. and
sexy
sex.
nachos.
Sexy
Yeah.
nachos.
I still want to say that I
Yes.
do love
Her talking to grandma.
her talking to grandma, that also, but her relationship with Petra. I do think that when you hate someone, it's like one of the closest feelings to love. And because you go, hate. I feel like
Tell me more.
It is. It's
Tell me
like
more about this hate love
thing. It's just so close. Like it's the feelings are so intense.
That's why they
How
say
do
there's
you-
a thin line.
There's a thin line between the two, because how do you know somebody so much to hate them?
The thing is, to hate somebody takes up a lot of energy.
It does, and you're giving them that. Yeah.
Right. So you like this person is someone you like actually care about in a weird way because you hate them so much.
And it's like, I mean, someone that you may find
If you didn't
similarities
care,
to, you didn't care. Yeah.
You just be like, meh.
But after so much time, after building a family together, like Jane may not want to see it, but that's like that's her homegirl now. Like their family. Like it would. I'm sure if anything
have their
happened to
Saturday
either of them,
brunches.
they would be devastated.
Yeah.
Because and it seems like Petra has replaced like Jane. They just will always know each other in a different way.
Yeah.
And they will always share that bond. And I think that bond is more or less beautiful. You know, and beauty's in the eye of the beholder. But yeah. So, but then we see Lena again.
No, I was literally like, where did she go?
So I teared up in this episode because of them, and I loved what that storyline was because I didn't
like
expect
the dynamic. Yeah.
I didn't know.
It made
I
you
thought
feel
that,
like
I was
Lena's being a little shady or just doesn't want.
But it wasn't that. It
Yeah.
was so honest, and it was so a matter of fact too. Like you know, because Jane was in that place. You just don't care. Like, yeah, well, my husband died, so I'm sorry about your fight.
It's so real between two best friends. It's I need you. I want to talk to you about this new man I'm falling in love with, and we just had a fight, and it's Jane lost her husband. How do you complain to somebody who lost their husband about a little insignificant fight, which was significant to her at the time?
Of course. And like, you could tell that she made her cry because she's like, I can't be anyway with you. I can't be happy. I can't be sad.
Yeah.
It's hard because
very real.
Right. When you grow, especially when you grow older, people start, getting married, having babies, doing this, traveling across the country for work. This just happens, especially like same with me and my best friend. We live in different cities. She's married and has a kid. I have my dog Lulu. Like, I'm doing these things. She's doing these things.
Asleep right now.
And sometimes it's hard.
Really? She's so cute.
Sometimes it's hard. You're not on the same page, and you don't have that same connection. It's late, guys. Connection. Even though like you love this person is someone you've grown up with.
Yeah.
But it's hard, and I appreciate the fact that they confronted it. Thanks to Fabian.
Right.
Otherwise,
Thanks to Fabian. Right.
Otherwise, it wouldn't have happened. But every now and then you need talks like that just to be like, I know you're going through this, but I'm going through this. It might not be the same thing as you, but we have, like, it's not less important than the other, right?
And thank goodness Jane isn't irrational to the point where Lena was able to express herself and Jane was able to receive it, not being so defensive, She listened, and it's important that we don't measure people's pain, Like, I too had, when I,
Everyone has their
over
own
the
journey.
summer, I lost most of my hair, shaved my head, it was a crazy thing. And then I felt like every time afterwards, I was kind of like that too. I'm like, oh, well, who cares? Worse things can happen. Worse, like, you know what? What's
Everyone
happening
has
to
their
them is
journey.
worse.
Yeah.
It's bad. Like, you're like, I had to tell myself, girl, you fine. Obviously, it didn't bother you that much. I'm over here up in AFTERBUZZ with my shit head. So it's okay. And like, and it's hard to do that, but when you can, it's so important. And I'm so happy that Jane said, what? I said that, but that she left it at that, and that she wasn't so much in denial, because it's true. And as much as Lena's thing may have been minor, it probably broke her inside. Still, though, So it's crazy. And we have to forget that Lena said that she wanted for so long to be good. And she finally was. And so that's why it was hurtful not to have that. Because Jane was the one that was always so structured and all this. And now finally Lena has it and wants to be like that with Jane. But she can't
talk about it with her best friend.
Yeah. So that was good. And we had a little bathroom floor moment. The last time we had that was Jane's birthday and stuff like that. They've had their drunken
Pump
nights.
And dump.
Oh, right. It was the pump and dump.
Remember the pump and dump? How do you forget that?
Yes. Awesome.
When Michael was alive.
Oh my God, stop! Michael's gone. Nataly, it's been 3 years. Get over it.
I know. I love poor Michael.
Wait, hold on. Their hearts glue
Together.
Glued. That's
Lit.
such a weird word.
They lit together.
They got lit.
That
was so cute. And because the only time we've really seen those love hearts is between male and female on the show. So I thought that was really sweet because there's all different kinds of love.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh. And they did need each other. That's good.
I love the graphics.
Me too.
I love all the graphics. I like how she was wearing a flowery dress when she goes to see Fabian, and the flowers kind of
that was amazing.
light
So
up
expressive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and then don't light up.
And then shrivel up, right? Like blue balls.
Too bad. You can't have your fling.
Right. So what's funny about all of these relationships is that these are all relationships that are old, that have been there before.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And tonight, I love it so much. And I have to say that I went to a little wedding celebration recently at a beach. And at the end of my friend Brad, when he was, they just did their vows in front of us, expressed, when you want to publicize your love. And towards the end of it, he said, I've lost you and I found you since I've fallen in love with you. And I've lost you and I've gotten you again, and I won't ever lose you, and whatever, blah, blah. I just thought it was so beautiful.
Okay, Xiomara.
Yes, finally. It was so great. I'm glad that they did that beach thing again. I am glad that Xiomara was the one who proposed, because
it's her turn.
It's her turn, but also that's Rogelio. Like he said, he's like, oh my God, I'm gonna faint. Like how perfect was that reaction?
I love Rogelio.
The girl.
But he would appreciate it more.
Yeah.
And it would mean more for Xiomara to do it, because at the end of the day, from what she's been through, I think that she's a woman who does feel like she needs to be more or less in control.
Yeah.
Rogelio's fine. He just wants to be in love. He wants to have what he wants.
Xiomara.
He just wants Xiomara.
And I do like how they did it, because I like how it goes back to when they had their first I love yous on the beach.
After a week of dating in high school.
Right.
So cute.
But at that time, it's so real. It's the first time you feel anything.
And he said, yeah, I said it. And I meant it.
Right. And I mean it now. And she said that we've been through so much together and so much apart. And it was what they've gone through apart is what made me really emotional too, because they've always wanted to share that, but so much apart was Jane. And Jane is their life.
Right.
So that's just, it's just so incredible.
I love how Rogelio reacted to Xiomara freaking out about possibly going a little too fast.
Right.
Because they just got back together.
Right.
And she's starting to feel that they're going too fast. And he said, well, if you want to slow down, I'm okay with that. But in my mind, it's not fast enough.
Me too. Perfect reaction, because it's true.
Loved it.
And we have to remember, I think that this day, actually, Francesca was saying this last week, how, you know what, but if life is too short, then just do what you feel.
Right.
When you know, you know. And I think I have to give him kudos for that, because and with reason, we do slow things down. We should. We need to think about it, because I feel like our
you can't use life as too short.
People, unfortunately, people's characters are available to expand so much now that we have to give each other the time to learn, because we'd be fake out there.
And it's just now it's just
it's scary.
Instant gratification. Issue. So it's like bored, because there's more.
Perfect, exactly. So it was just.
But they've had love from a long time ago,
right?
So that's how you know it's real.
It is. I also loved seeing Rogelio, aunque mijito, cuidadito with your tone, but him being mad with Alba.
And speaking in Spanish back to her,
because that's the way he has to express himself.
Because he loves Xiomara so much, and she's like, you're shoving all these thoughts in her mind about not moving in with me until we're married, but that's what she wanted to.
Yeah, and he's like, you blah blah with your little Judy judgment, that was so funny.
But I loved how Xiomara led with, "I'm sorry, I lied to you."
Mm-hmm, me too.
Yeah.
So did I. That was great. Okay, so yay, they're engaged, and Xiomara gave Mateo's ring to Rogelio.
Oh, that's right.
Her father's ring. That's beautiful.
Which means Abuela was down for the cause.
Down for the cause.
To give it to her.
Of course.
Yeah. Aww.
And then I wanted to say
that's why she was smiling. Like, you can yell
yeah,
at me
she's
all
like,
you want. You're about to figure it all out.
Yeah. And so now for my favorite of the evening, Fabiancito.
Oh, Fabiancito.
And Jane.
His smile, so dreamy.
I'll tell you what the beauty. First of all, I love that Lena said, you know, just because he's like so like relaxed, like just give him a chance. Again,
Abuela said that too.
People surprise you.
They do surprise you, as the narrator kept saying, and you forget that you like, yeah, just chill.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to know that, just instant gratification.
Yep.
Something that I have to tell myself all the time. You don't know him yet. Yes, you had a great first date. You don't know him yet.
Yeah.
Relax. And it happens as much as like I like someone right away, and then you find out so quick. Oh, you don't.
If you ignite the flame too quickly, it dies down too quickly.
It dies too quickly, exactly. And
it does.
That's what was so beautiful about this, because he may have been this like kind of a weird kid, but already Jane might be influencing him for the better, you know?
Well, like I thought that was so cute that she's like, she was about to go over to his house and end it. And then she saw that he got the book that they were talking about, and he's like, I'm almost done with it.
Yeah, good.
So, you know, and it's like,
she forget, like, he could read, girl. Just because he doesn't mean he can't. Like, he knows how.
He's like,
and
I
just
like
because
magazines.
he's this hottie with muscles who does only scenes with waterfalls and shirtless, you know, does not mean that he might not actually be a good guy.
And, you know, to give him credit, he is someone who went after his dreams and like wanted to, like, he worked for it. Yeah. So it's not like he can't do his own, because he's doing it. And also I loved when he said, don't worry, I introduced myself as Rogelio's friend, not yours, because I know the boundaries there. Very important. Absolutely. So he's not stupid.
Yeah.
His naiveness is kind of beautiful. In
we
fact,
love him.
Fabian reminds me of a season 1 and 2 Jane. He's only seen the beauty in things, and he re-virginized himself. That's so sweet. Not that he hasn't had sex before, but
I think you mentioned he also reminds you of Rogelio.
Yeah.
He does.
He even sounded like him today. Remember? I don't know what he said, but I was
because he has those,
okay, Rogelio.
He is like this hopeless. Yeah, he has this like hopelessness to him, and he, I guess, as an artist, you just want to see like the beauty in life, and Jane has that, and I just love it. I really love this like, dynamic.
Happy-go-lucky, optimistic, a little ditzy, but he has all this great insight.
Oh, such great insight.
Yeah,
he's so wonderful, and they gotta
I like how
connect. What?
When he goes to Danny, he goes, "Hi, tell me about you. Who are your enemies?"
Yeah, he's like, "Where are you from? Who are your enemies?" Yeah, none. I'm from New York.
Yeah. Like what?
Oh, exciting. Yeah, I think that's it. I was trying to oh, go ahead.
Oh, is it? Oh, that's it on that topic, you mean?
No, please, whatever you want to say.
Or in general? Oh, I was going to say, we have, well, I guess we briefly talked about it, but with JP and everything, Jerky Pants, Chuck. But Aneska, we find out that it actually was Petra that broke up with Scott.
Oh, right.
Petra pretended to be Aneska, broke up with Scott. Drugged Aneska so she wouldn't, go back to him. So, yeah, none of them are involved in his death.
Well, we don't know if Chuck is.
No, I mean Petra and Anesh.
Oh, right. Neither of them are. Yeah. Crazy.
You guys think Chuck is?
I don't know.
I mean, they're pointing it that way right now.
It could have been. Who knows? It could have been anything that happened. It could have been like Chuck trying to sell.
It could have been Aneska doing it.
Because Scott could have been doing some sneaky stuff, and then Chuck was just like, "Hey, what are you doing?" Boom, and then didn't know who he was, and then it would just turn into something bad, or.
But in his burn book, he said he was supposed to meet JP.
Right. Ooh, something crazy.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, I was trying to kind of make this go longer because in 2 minutes it's Francesca's birthday, but we're gonna say happy birthday to her.
Stop it!
Feliz cumpleaños! Happy birthday!
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, but otherwise a great 61. We're gonna do it again when it's midnight, but now we can start wrapping up. Any predictions?
Your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
I'm curious to know if we can pull up the live chat. If
she wants to see if they're telling.
I want to see.
I can, but just go on with your predictions while I do that.
Okay, cool. Go ahead.
Oh well, I was just curious to see what they were gonna say. I don't know. I'm like we were just talking about right now. It's pointing to Jerky Pants over here, We saw Raph call Petra at the end.
Oh, right.
And confess his love on the message. And I think
Chuck's
Jerky Pants. Yeah, I like saying Jerky Pants.
Jerky Pants.
I think that Chuck's gonna hear it, and I think that might cause some problems.
Oh, right.
Yes, I had Botox today.
That was so good.
Yes,
I
that
wrote
was
that
amazing.
down too. That was good.
Oh, God, that was so good.
Someone proposes to you and you say, I had Botox today, I would be crying if I didn't.
That's so good. And
That's
then,
very Rogelio.
Billie Jean girl, do you think Fabian and Jane are going to last? Not forever, but it's going to be something. And here's the thing, though. What's good about this is that now she knows that she can open her heart again. And what I feel like I've had to learn is that not every relationship or whatever it is that you have with somebody
is meant to last forever.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be 2 years.
Yeah,
they're
sometimes
lessons.
they're stepping stones,
They're
lessons.
stepping stones, or just, you know what, at that time, company. And it doesn't always necessarily mean that one is going to completely fall for the other. Like, I think people forget that, especially with the way that Fabian is, he seems like he could be very understanding. Let's say they start dating for 6 months or whatever it is. They could come to a mutual understanding at the end.
Yeah.
But has still enjoyed and learned each other.
It doesn't have to end ugly. Some people come into your life to teach you something or get her
Happy
back
birthday!
into dating. Birthday, princess!
It lit up at midnight. Is that
No,
weird?
that was me.
Thank you, Billie Jean girl too. Thank you.
I don't know about my prediction, but I have to say I love the acronym FLING. Fantastic looking, intellectually no good.
Oh, right. Yeah.
so hard.
So good.
Is what Jane is looking for. I love for.
It. Well, let's see what she thinks about him after he tries to make love to her next week. Even though now she looks like she's hesitant, but she's getting in her head. Obviously,
she's gonna get in her head, and it's not gonna happen.
We're gonna see what's happening. It looked amazing.
I can't see Jane kind of doing the fling thing. Can you guys?
I see it.
I could see it, but I just
fling as them dating for a while, not like one-nighters.
I could see her having a love affair, not like a.
I can see her doing like a little bit of a fling.
She wanted a one-night thing, but that's not going to happen. Yeah. It wasn't meant to happen.
Are you looking at your happy birthdays up there?
I'm snapping my happy birthday.
We need a cameo.
Yes.
Do you think Petra's in danger? You do?
I do.
Hopefully not. God, what if he does try to get revenge to her and he's like, this is from you trying to ruin my company.
Yep.
I don't know. I think he really likes her, though.
I think so, too, because she about it.
Because I think the only reason, I think he really genuinely is worried about, what's his face? Raph. Because he actually really likes Petra. Or he just doesn't want Raph to figure things out and steer him away from her. I don't know.
I want to see
Petra
Chuck's
chase
butt
her. He
and body.
like her.
Sorry for everyone who just heard that.
What did you say?
That I want to see Chuck's butt and body.
Oh, I agree.
Okay. Well, I guess then we're just going to have to wait until next week, y'all.
Eat some gator jerky.
Eat some gator jerky now. Where can they find you on social media? Go ahead.
You can find me everywhere at Nataly Tavidian.
And you can find me at Twitter and Instagram, XOXOCESCA. You can find my loyal companion, Lulu, on the gram.
Excellent.
On Instagram.
And y'all can find me on Twitter at Stephanie Giorgi and on Instagram at the Stephanie Giorgi. Thanks, y'all, for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Bye.
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 From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.